Chosen One, I need you to stop scrolling right now. This is an urgent message meant exclusively for your spirit. You did not find this frequency by accident today. Your raw energy pulled this revelation into your reality because something massive is happening behind your back. You must not look away from this screen. The universe is finally exposing a hidden secret that will change absolutely everything. There are people from your past who thought they destroyed you. They walked away when you needed them the most. They left you bleeding in the cold dark. And they were absolutely certain that you would fail miserably without their constant presence in your life. They expected to see you crumble into tiny pieces. But heaven had a completely different plan for you. Lately, they have been quietly reaching out to people you know. They are secretly asking detailed questions about your current life. They want to know if you are still struggling hard. They desperately hope to hear that you are still stuck in the same painful cycle of despair. They need you to be completely broken so they can feel whole again. But everyone they asked praised you to the highest heavens. Everyone told them how incredibly bright your light has become. They heard all about your massive resilience and strength. They learned that you are thriving beautifully and walking in absolute divine grace every single day. And this information sent a massive shockwave through their entire nervous system. They are absolutely terrified of your new power. Now they feel entirely stupid for walking away from you. They finally realize they threw away the most precious soul they ever encountered. The heavy panic is setting in deep within their bitter spirit. They are literally losing sleep over the cruel way they treated you in the past, because they can clearly see the divine favor resting heavily upon your path. I must strictly warn you not to skip this crucial message. If you leave right now, you will completely miss the critical truth about what they are planning next. You desperately need this spiritual armor to protect your brand new timeline. The darkness is actively trying to distract your mind, so you scroll away blindly. Do not let them steal this sacred revelation. There is a very specific reason why heaven forced them to hear those praises. It was not just to make them feel guilty about their past actions. It was a highly calculated divine move to permanently sever their energetic cord to your spirit. I will soon reveal the exact detail they heard. It is the very thing that made them collapse in bitter regret. You survived the terrible storm entirely on your own. You cried silently in the dark of your lonely room. No one ever came to offer you any real help. But during that bitter isolation phase, you successfully forged an unbreakable spirit that deeply intimidates them. They thought they left your soul in a forgotten graveyard. They did not know they actually planted a magical seed. Now, the tables have completely turned in your ultimate favor. The universe is actively preparing a glorious table for you right in the presence of your enemies. Every single tear you shed is being converted into immense spiritual wealth and power. They are watching from the sidelines as you confidently step into your highest authority. It is a truly glorious sight to behold. Listen very closely to what I am about to say next. You must firmly anchor yourself in this ultimate truth before we proceed any further. The brutal spiritual warfare you endured alone was the ultimate test of your character, and you passed it with flying colors despite the incredible pain that they caused you. Stay with me carefully until the very end. The final piece of this divine puzzle will shock your soul. This is the exact moment your physical reality permanently shifts. You are stepping entirely out of the dark shadows of their toxic manipulation. You must not close this video under any circumstances today. You are about to discover exactly why their sudden panic is the exact sign you have been praying for. The ultimate divine justice is unfolding before your eyes right now. Let us go back to those dark nights. You remember the crushing weight of the silence. It was heavy and suffocating. You gave them your entire heart without any hesitation. You poured your golden energy into their empty cups. And when you finally needed a safe shoulder to lean on, they simply vanished into thin air. They left you completely alone. You sat in your quiet room for hours, and you stared at the ceiling while your mind raced. You asked yourself what you did wrong. You replayed every single conversation in your head, but there was no logical answer to be found because they never gave you one. The truth is, you did absolutely nothing wrong. You were just too pure for their toxic games. Do you remember waking up at 3 in the morning? Your chest felt incredibly tight. A heavy anxiety gripped your soul while the rest of the world slept peacefully. You reached out to them for a simple explanation because you just wanted basic human decency, but they responded with cold and calculated silence, and it was deliberately cruel. That silence was designed to break you. It was a deliberate weapon meant to drain your power. They wanted you to feel small and insignificant, and while you were busy blaming yourself, they were busy spinning toxic lies. They started a vicious smear campaign behind your back. They twisted the narrative to play the innocent victim. They whispered malicious rumors to anyone who would listen. They painted you as the unstable one. They desperately needed the world to believe that you were the problem. And it hurt you deeply to see mutual friends pulling away without ever asking you for the real truth. You felt like an outcast in your own life. The betrayal cut deeper than any physical wound. Take a deep breath right now. I need you to know that heaven saw every tear. The universe recorded every single lie they spoke against your name. You felt like you were drowning in a sea of endless misunderstanding. You wanted to scream the truth from the rooftops, but your spirit quietly told you to stay perfectly still. Staying still was the hardest thing you ever did. Every fiber of your being wanted to defend your wounded honor. You wanted to show everyone the concrete proof of their toxic behavior, but you chose the higher path instead, and you retreated into your sacred isolation phase. You allowed them to walk away with their false stories. This divine isolation felt exactly like a harsh punishment. You lost people you truly loved and trusted. Your social circle shrank until it was just you and your silent prayers. The loneliness ached deep in your weary bones, and you wondered if you would ever feel happy again, but you were not being punished by the universe at all. You were a rare soul, trapped in a low-vibration environment. They took absolute advantage of your kind, empathic nature. They used your bright light to illuminate their own dark shadows, and when they had taken everything they could possibly carry, they discarded you like trash. It was a brutal cycle of emotional abuse. But something shifted inside you during those lonely months. You stopped begging for their basic validation. You stopped sending those long paragraphs trying to explain your feelings. You finally realized that they could not understand your depth because they were completely committed to misunderstanding you. And that realization finally set your spirit free. The pain of that rejection was a brutal initiation. It was a necessary fire to burn away your people-pleasing habits. You had to learn how to be your own safe space, and you had to stop offering your pearls to people who only valued cheap stones. The universe forcefully removed them from your timeline for your absolute protection. Listen carefully to this next part. While you were healing your broken heart, they were still talking about you. They could not let your memory die. They had to keep painting you as the villain to justify their awful behavior. They told lies to strangers just to validate their own empty existence, and it was truly pathetic. You became the one who survived the storm alone. You did not retaliate when they threw dirt on your name. You quietly focused on rebuilding your shattered reality. You gathered your broken pieces and turned them into a brilliant mosaic. And this quiet transformation is exactly what triggered their current panic, because they wanted you to stay broken. They thought your silence meant you were defeated. They honestly believed you were hiding in deep shame. They never expected you to rise up with such immense power. You became a cycle breaker right in the middle of your deepest grief. You refused to pass their toxic poison down to the next generation, and you chose to heal instead. I know the nights were incredibly long. I know you felt entirely abandoned by the people you trusted most. You gave them endless chances to do the right thing, but they consistently chose their fragile ego over your beautiful connection. You must stop carrying the heavy guilt of a relationship that they willingly destroyed. Your pure heart was never the problem. Your capacity to love deeply is your greatest spiritual asset. They were simply not equipped to handle a weapon of light like you. They needed someone they could easily control and manipulate. And when you finally set a firm boundary, they completely lost their toxic minds. The rumors they spread were born out of pure projection. They accused you of the exact things they were secretly doing. It was a desperate attempt to ruin your credibility, so nobody else would see your true value. But their wicked plan backfired in the most spectacular way possible, and heaven is now dealing with them. Take another slow breath and let this truth sink in. You are no longer that bleeding empath begging to be understood. You have walked through the blazing fire and emerged completely whole. The beautiful scars you carry are the divine proof of your immense resilience. You survived the absolute worst they had to offer. They watched you walk away without a single fight. They expected you to chase them, begging for closure. But you gave them the powerful gift of your eternal absence. You starved them of the energetic reaction they desperately craved. And this ultimate denial of access is what started their current downward spiral. Tap the like button right now as an act of agreement with what God just spoke to you. This simple physical action will permanently anchor your weary spirit into this divine healing frequency. You have survived the brutal testing phase. You are finally ready to hear the massive secret they just discovered about you. Let us talk about their recent behavior. They have been quietly asking people about you. They stalk your social media from fake accounts. They casually bring your name up in random conversations. And there is a very specific reason the universe allowed them to spread those initial lies about you. I will reveal that hidden divine reason very soon. They are not checking on you because they care. They are checking on you because they are terrified. Your total absence left a massive void in their reality. They desperately need to know that you are doing much worse than them. It is the only way they can validate their toxic choices. But their constant snooping is actually absolute proof of their deep insecurity. You never fought back when they walked away. You simply closed the door and stayed quiet. And that silence is exactly what drives them absolutely crazy right now. They expected a massive emotional reaction from you. They wanted you to scream and cry and beg for their attention. Because your chaotic emotions used to feed their hungry ego. Your silence is not a sign of weakness. Your silence has become a weapon of light. It is a thick, energetic shield that they cannot penetrate. When you stopped reacting to their toxic games, you completely cut off their spiritual food supply. They are literally starving for your golden energy right now, and their hunger makes them incredibly reckless. They sent their little spies to gather information. They used mutual friends to dig into your current life. They asked subtle questions to see if you were struggling financially or emotionally. They wanted to hear that you were completely lost without their brilliant guidance. They needed you to be a huge failure to make themselves feel like a total success. Stop feeling bad about the vicious lies they told. Those lies were never about your actual character. Those lies were a desperate reflection of their own dark shadows. Every single bad thing they said about you was actually a confession of their own hidden sins. Heaven simply let them talk, so they would eventually expose their own rotten roots to the world. You did the grueling inner work in total secret. You healed your deep wounds without seeking any outside validation. You learned how to gently validate yourself. And while you were busy ascending to a much higher timeline, they remained entirely stuck in their bitter low frequency. They are still playing the exact same childish high school games today. You are a truly chosen one. You possess a rare and ancient soul. You do not operate on their petty, superficial level. They only care about fake appearances and very shallow victories. But you care about deep spiritual alignment and massive generational wealth. The gap between your frequency and their frequency is now impossibly wide. Deep down, they know they messed up horribly. They will never admit it out loud to anyone. But in the quiet moments before they fall asleep, the heavy guilt eats away at their chest. They know they chased away the most loyal person they will ever meet. They know they foolishly traded a pure diamond for a handful of cheap, dirty rocks. You completely ghosted their toxic matrix. You became entirely unreachable to their negative vibrations, and this physical boundary is your ultimate power move. You do not have to explain your strict boundaries to people who profit from your lack of boundaries. You just have to enforce them silently. Your absence speaks much louder than any angry words ever could. Listen closely to me right now. You must absolutely forgive yourself for ever trusting them. You were operating from a place of pure, unconditional love. It is not your fault that they weaponized your beautiful empathy against you. Your pure heart was doing exactly what it was designed to do. You were simply casting bright light into a hopelessly dark room. The universe deliberately isolated you from their toxic influence. Heaven had to brutally remove them from your path. Because you were about to step into a massive season of divine favor, and those toxic anchors would have drowned you before you ever reached the promised land. Their cruel betrayal was actually your greatest spiritual rescue mission. So let them keep watching your life from the fake accounts. Let them keep asking the mutual friends about your current status. Every time they ask about you, they are giving you their scattered energy. They are unknowingly fueling your massive success with their bitter obsession. Your name stays hot in their mouth because your brilliant light burns their demons. They used to hold all the cards in the relationship. They controlled the false narrative and dictated your emotional state. But the power dynamic has completely shifted now. You hold the ultimate authority simply by existing in your peaceful state. You do not even have to lift a single finger to totally defeat them. Your profound happiness is their absolute worst nightmare. They are incredibly bothered by your peaceful glow. They cannot understand how you survived their brutal attacks. They wanted to destroy your good reputation permanently, but they accidentally made you totally bulletproof instead. Every single arrow they shot at your back just pushed you faster toward your glorious destiny. You truly won the silent spiritual war. Do you feel that light tension leaving your shoulders right now? That is your physical body finally releasing the heavy burden of their useless opinions. You no longer have to carry the massive weight of their toxic judgments. You are completely free from their twisted mental prison. You have successfully reclaimed your absolute personal sovereignty. They are frantically trying to figure out your big secret. They want to know exactly who is helping you succeed. They cannot fathom that you are doing this all by yourself with divine guidance. They think you must have found a new powerful group of friends, because they cannot comprehend the massive strength of a soul that walks confidently alone with God. Your quiet authority is absolutely untouchable now. You have become a true master of your reality. And while they run around gathering petty gossip, you are quietly building a massive empire. Their frantic questions are the ultimate proof of your total victory. But the specific answers they received from those mutual friends completely shattered their fragile egos forever. Now we must look at the exact divine mechanism behind their recent panic. When they started asking around about you, they expected very specific answers. They wanted to hear that you were still crying over them. They needed someone to confirm that your life was falling completely apart. But the universe had a very different plan for those conversations. Heaven intentionally intercepted every single message they sent. The universe deliberately hijacked every casual conversation they started about you. This was not a random coincidence at all. It was a highly orchestrated move by the divine realm to completely trap them in their own toxic web. They walked right into a massive spiritual ambush without even realizing it. Because whoever they asked about you suddenly became your biggest advocate. The mutual friends who used to believe their vicious lies suddenly only had high praises for you. The universe literally shifted the perspective of the people around them, and there is a very deep spiritual reason why this is happening exactly right now. I will reveal that powerful mechanism shortly. They heard that you are glowing with absolute peace. They heard that your career is taking off beautifully. They were told that you look incredibly healthy and totally unbothered. Every single word of praise they heard felt like a sharp physical slap to their bitter face. They were completely cornered by the overwhelming positive reports about your new life. They tried to dig for some dirty gossip. They asked very leading questions to find a single flaw in your current reality, but the universe firmly blocked every attempt they made to gather toxic fuel. The people they asked simply had nothing bad to say about you anymore. Your pure golden aura had completely rewritten the public narrative about your true character. You see, a narcissist relies heavily on their flying monkeys. They need a steady stream of people to validate their twisted delusions. But when those same people start praising the very person they tried to destroy, their entire fake reality collapses. They lose absolute control over the false narrative they worked so incredibly hard to build. And this loss of control terrifies them deeply. This is the ultimate divine justice unfolding right now. The universe did not strike them with lightning. Heaven did not send a massive disaster to ruin their life. Instead, the universe used their own desperate curiosity against them. Heaven used their own sneaky spying tactics to deliver the absolute worst news they could possibly receive. You are completely thriving without them. You are a very rare soul. You carry a specific light that exposes hidden darkness. And when they tried to cover your bright light with dirty lies, the universe simply turned up your voltage. Your massive success has become incredibly loud. Your pure joy has become absolutely undeniable to anyone watching your journey. You cannot be hidden in the shadows anymore. They are sitting in their dark rooms right now, completely obsessed with your light. They are furiously analyzing every piece of good news they heard about you. They are trying to find a logical reason why you are succeeding so much while they feel so deeply miserable inside. But they will never find the answer because they are completely disconnected from the divine source. They thought they were the main characters in your story. They believed they held the absolute key to your personal happiness. But the overwhelming praises they just heard proved them completely wrong. They realized they were just a very minor villain in your beautiful, epic journey. They were just a temporary stepping stone that the universe used to push you higher. And this is where their psychological torture really begins. Because they cannot openly complain about your massive success without looking incredibly jealous. They have to pretend they are genuinely happy for you in front of the mutual friends. They have to force a fake smile while they are literally burning with toxic envy deep inside their bitter, hollow core. The universe has successfully cornered them mentally. They cannot escape the brilliant reality of your glorious victory. Every time they try to drag your name through the mud, someone immediately defends your shining honor. The divine realm has placed a massive protective shield over your earthly reputation. You are completely untouchable to their petty little gossip games now. Take a slow, deep breath and absorb this absolute truth. You do not need to defend yourself ever again. Heaven has officially taken over your public relations department. The very people they used to spread their toxic lies are now the exact same people singing your praises to their face. The irony of this divine setup is absolutely beautiful to witness. They feel completely stupid right now. They realize they bet heavily against the ultimate chosen one, and they lost everything. They played dirty games with a soul that is deeply protected by the highest realms, and now they have to sit back and watch you receive all the massive blessings that they desperately want for themselves. It is the perfect poetic justice. But wait, you must pay very close attention to what happens next. Because there is a specific mechanism that will start rapidly filtering out the remaining toxic people from your immediate orbit. The universe is not done cleaning house just yet. Your current energy is becoming highly lethal to any hidden enemies still pretending to be your friend. The praises they heard were just the initial warning shot. The divine realm is currently preparing an even bigger shock for their fragile ego. You must remain firmly seated in your quiet authority while this massive operation completes itself behind the scenes. Do not interrupt the enemy while they are busy destroying their own fake reputation. Let us deeply examine the shallow nature of these toxic people. They walk around wearing a very convincing mask of confidence, and they appear incredibly strong and successful to the untrained eye. But underneath that polished surface, they are completely hollow. They are just an empty shell running on a massive ego. They literally have no internal light of their own. They are spiritual parasites who desperately need a host. They hunted you down because they recognized your massive reservoir of pure energy. They could never generate their own authentic joy or deep peace, so they decided to steal yours instead. They attached themselves to your bright aura and slowly drained your life force. They needed your empathy to survive. But what happens to a parasite when the host finally leaves? They begin to furiously starve in the cold dark. Your sudden departure completely cut off their primary energetic food supply, and they are currently scrambling to find a suitable replacement for you. But they are quickly realizing a terrifying truth. Absolutely no one else possesses your incredible spiritual depth. They try to run their old manipulation scripts on new people. They use the exact same charming lies and fake promises. But those cheap tricks are suddenly failing them miserably. The universe is no longer allowing them to easily trap innocent souls, and their shallow nature is becoming painfully obvious to everyone around them. Their heavy mask is rapidly slipping off. The people who used to blindly follow them are waking up. Those mutual friends who recently praised you are starting to notice the toxic patterns. They can see the deep, bitter jealousy hiding behind the fake smiles. The narcissist is losing their tight grip on the narrative, and they are watching their carefully crafted kingdom crumble into tiny little pieces right now. You were the secret glue holding their fake image together because your beautiful grace constantly covered up their ugly mistakes. You always made them look much better than they actually were, but without your pure light reflecting off them, they look completely ordinary and dull. They have lost their special spark. They are fading back into the sad background of life. They absolutely hate the fact that they cannot trigger you anymore. They throw tiny invisible rocks at your window, just hoping for a reaction. But your absolute silence leaves them screaming completely alone into a dark void. They want you to be angry so they can feel relevant again, because they need your emotional chaos to validate their own twisted existence. Type 111 down in the comments to claim this alignment. By taking this small physical action, you are permanently sealing your energetic borders. You are telling the universe that their toxic access is totally revoked forever. They can no longer feed on your precious emotional responses, and you are completely invisible to their dark radar from this day forward. They are utterly powerless against your new quiet authority. They used to think they completely broke you into unfixable pieces. But they actually just shattered their own dirty mirror that was reflecting your brilliant light. Now they have to sit entirely alone with their own dark reflections, And that is a psychological torture they cannot possibly escape today. The spiritual truth is, they were never your equal partner. They were simply a temporary assignment meant to test your boundaries. Heaven sent them as a harsh catalyst for your ultimate spiritual awakening. They were designed to push you completely out of your comfortable people-pleasing habits, and once their dirty job was done, the universe forcefully evicted them. They are deeply doomed to repeat their shallow, toxic cycles forever. They will keep chasing temporary highs and fake relationships. But you have officially ascended past their low vibrational matrix. You have successfully broken the heavy generational curse of accepting bare minimum love, and you are operating on a completely different dimensional plane of existence now. They will inevitably try to hover back into your peaceful life. They will send a fake apology or a seemingly innocent message. They just want to test the waters to see if you are still vulnerable. Do not ever fall for this pathetic little trap. They have not magically changed their toxic ways. They are just extremely hungry for your familiar golden energy again. Your pure energy is highly guarded by heavenly forces right now. The universe has placed a massive spiritual firewall entirely around your soul. Any negative intention directed toward you is instantly reflected right back to the sender. They will physically feel the heavy consequence of trying to mess with a true chosen one, because your quiet peace is heavily weaponized. You just get to sit back and watch them fade into total insignificance. The divine realm is currently extracting their toxic presence from your new timeline. You will soon forget the heavy sound of their lying voice. The painful memories are actively being washed away by the glorious light of your massive success, and you are entirely free from their dark, heavy chains. But you must stay incredibly vigilant during this final transition phase. The universe is about to shift your current reality in a very dramatic way. There is a massive final mechanism designed to flush out any remaining hidden enemies in your circle. I am going to reveal exactly how this spiritual purge works. You will need to recognize the divine signs immediately. Take a slow, deep breath before we uncover this shocking truth. You are witnessing the absolute destruction of their false reality right now. Their shallow nature could never survive the massive frequency upgrade you just received. They are officially left behind in the dusty ashes of their own toxic creation, and heaven is preparing your ultimate reward right now. The heavy atmosphere around you is rapidly shifting right now. You can physically feel a massive change happening in the air. The old timeline where you constantly struggled is completely collapsing behind you, and while they are still stuck in their bitter jealousy, you are quickly stepping into a brand new dimension of absolute divine favor. The universe is actively realigning your entire physical reality. You have been seeing strange repeating numbers everywhere lately. You glance at the clock and see 111 or 777, and this is happening because your energy is perfectly aligned with heaven. These are not random coincidences at all. They are deliberate cosmic messages confirming your massive spiritual upgrade. The divine realm is loudly communicating that your beautiful reward is finally ready. Notice how strangers are suddenly drawn to your peaceful energy. People look at you with deep respect and silent admiration, but at the same time, certain old friends are suddenly disappearing from your life without any warning because they cannot survive your new vibration. This is the massive spiritual purge I warned you about earlier. Heaven is aggressively clearing your path of hidden enemies. You might also notice a sudden lightness in your physical chest. The heavy, anxious feeling that plagued you for months is suddenly gone. And because your spirit is no longer fighting a silent war, you are finally sleeping deeply through the long night. This means your nervous system is successfully resetting to a much higher frequency. Your physical body is preparing for wealth. Massive opportunities are about to fall right into your lap. Doors that were firmly locked for years are suddenly blowing completely off their hinges. You will receive unexpected good news that makes no logical sense. The universe is bypassing all the normal rules just to bless you heavily, because you truly earned this glorious victory through your silent tears. But you must remain incredibly grounded during this massive transition, because right before the dawn breaks, the darkness will try one last desperate trick to steal your crown. I promise to reveal a fatal trap that is waiting right near the finish line. Many chosen ones completely fail right at the edge of their glorious breakthrough. You cannot afford to lose your focus now. The enemy is going to send a very convincing counterfeit into your life. Someone from your painful past might suddenly return with a fake apology, or a brand new person might appear offering a deal that seems too good to be true, but it is actually a deadly trap. They are specifically sent to distract you from your ultimate divine prize. Do not accept their shiny fake offering. Your upgraded intuition will immediately warn you about this trap. You will feel a sudden tight knot in your stomach when they speak. Do not ignore that powerful physical warning sign. The universe is testing your new boundaries to see if you are truly ready for the massive blessing, and you must firmly reject the fake illusion to unlock the real miracle. Take a very deep breath and steady your powerful spirit. The divine wealth transfer is literally hovering right above your head. The exact people who laughed at your pain are about to watch your massive coronation. You have successfully navigated the darkest valleys entirely alone, and now you are about to step onto your rightful spiritual throne. Your victory is absolute. Do not let any remaining doubts cloud your brilliant mind today. You are a true master of reality, and your word is absolute law. The energetic shift is fully complete, and heaven is preparing to hand you the ultimate keys to the kingdom. Prepare yourself for the greatest emotional release of your entire life. The final revelation is about to change how you walk forever. You are the rare anomaly that the toxic matrix could never control. You broke the painful generational cycle with your bare hands, and heaven is loudly applauding your incredible spiritual stamina right now. While your enemies scramble to pick up their broken pieces, let the glorious reality of your massive victory settle deep into your weary bones. You are completely untouchable now. Here is the absolute truth you have been waiting for. The secret they discovered is not just about your earthly success. They suddenly realized your spirit is heavily guarded by an army of angels. And the devastating truth that broke their fragile ego is that they can never access your pure light again. You are entirely closed off. They thought they were punishing you with their cruel silence, but they actually gave you the exact isolation needed to awaken your quiet authority. You became a weapon of light in the dark. And when they asked about you, the universe forced them to hear that you are completely untouchable now. They lost their favorite toy forever. The waiting season is officially over right now. The dry desert you walked through has suddenly burst into an oasis of divine favor. Every single closed door is being blown completely off its hinges. Can you feel that massive shift in your spirit right now? That is the glorious frequency of absolute victory running through your veins, and it is changing your life today. You are no longer the bleeding empath who begged to be understood by toxic people. The brutal crucible of pain has successfully forged you into the untouchable master of your reality, and you are stepping into the exact timeline you were born to rule. From this moment on, your energy demands absolute respect without a single word spoken. You shine so brightly. Your mere presence completely shifts the atmosphere of any room you enter. You do not have to explain your boundaries or justify your glorious peace. The immense divine wealth you were promised is flowing effortlessly into your brand new timeline. And the people who tried to bury you get front row seats to watch you rise, because the universe demands absolute justice. You are shining. You do not even need to seek any earthly revenge against them. Your massive success and profound happiness are the ultimate karma. The universe has prepared a massive table for you in the presence of your enemies. They are starving for your attention while you feast heavily on divine blessings. The spiritual war is entirely won, and you are taking back everything they stole from you. Take a deep breath and let every ounce of pain leave your body. The toxic chains that held you back for years are completely shattered. The heavy burden of their opinions is completely washed away by the light. You have successfully broken the painful generational curse of your bloodline. Future generations will thank you for this incredible sacrifice, and your powerful legacy is completely secured in heaven today. Your ancestors are cheering loudly for your incredible resilience today. Heaven is pouring pure golden light over your beautiful weary crown. You are standing at the absolute pinnacle of your glorious spiritual awakening, and the universe is handing you the master keys to unlock your ultimate kingdom connection while the dark forces retreat in terror. Nothing can stop you now. Every tear you cried in the dark has been fully transformed into massive spiritual currency. The divine realm is currently depositing immense miracles directly into your earthly reality. You survived the absolute worst storms they could possibly create, and you emerged shining brighter than 1,000 suns in the morning sky because you never lost your pure faith. You are beautiful. You are a walking miracle and a living testament to divine grace. The narcissists who plotted your downfall are completely terrified of your holy fire. They can no longer manipulate what they cannot spiritually access. Your silence is a dangerous weapon that absolutely destroys their dark intentions before they even reach you, and it protects your energy flawlessly. You are entirely safe. This is the ultimate triumph of the rare chosen one. But as you step onto this glorious pedestal, you must actively protect your new frequency. The pitch-black darkness has finally retreated behind you. The dawn of the new era is shining its brightest rays onto your spiritual crown, and you must lock in this glorious energy right now. The enemy wants you to forget this massive revelation the moment you walk away. They desperately hope you leave your energy completely unprotected so they can sneak back in. But you are far too wise to let that happen ever again. You must create an absolute shield of protection around your massive blessing before you do anything else today, because your pure light is incredibly valuable. Protect your holy peace. This sacred moment requires a firm physical anchor to seal the reality. You cannot just listen and walk away without claiming your rightful territory. The universe needs to see your absolute willingness to partner with heaven today. You have to physically prove that your hands are entirely open to receive this divine wealth transfer, and you must claim this victory loudly. It is time to act. Your spirit is vibrating at the highest possible frequency right now. You are absolutely overflowing with divine power and quiet authority. Do not let this magical moment pass you by without locking the door behind you, because the dark forces are constantly watching your every move. You must permanently seal this reality so no toxic force can ever steal your joy again. The perfect time is exactly right now. The beautiful shift happening in your chest right now is absolutely real. That is the heavy anointing of God settling permanently over your entire life. You are perfectly aligned with the massive abundance of the universe. Every single lie they told about you has been entirely burned to ashes. You are standing fully victorious in the pure light, and you are finally ready to seal this divine contract with heaven. This is the moment of absolute truth. You have finally claimed your rightful power. The toxic shadows are completely banished from your sacred timeline today. But the spiritual realm requires a firm physical anchor to lock this magnificent frequency into place permanently. The enemy desperately hopes you will simply close this message and forget your new authority. You must absolutely seal this divine reality right now. I need you to take one final deep breath. Let the pure golden light completely surround your physical body. You are a chosen one who survived the brutal storms entirely alone, and heaven is heavily guarding your precious soul from any further harm. Declare your ultimate victory over the people who tried to destroy your beautiful spirit. Your powerful words hold the absolute key to your total freedom. Go down into the comments right now and type exactly what I tell you. Type the word AMN to firmly establish your glorious energy receiving station. This simple action is not just a regular comment on a video today. It is a powerful spiritual oath that permanently blocks their negative access to your bright aura while securing your divine protection. You are confirming your total readiness to receive massive wealth. But you must not keep this profound blessing entirely to yourself. If this fiery message has reignited the beautiful faith inside you, another chosen soul desperately needs this exact rescue mission right now. Share this specific revelation with someone who is secretly bleeding in the dark. Sowing this powerful seed of hope today is literally multiplying the massive blessing for your own glorious future. The narcissists who abandoned you are entirely powerless now. They will keep asking around about you, and they will only hear about your incredible rise to the very top. Let them choke on the beautiful praises of your flawless victory. You owe them absolutely nothing but your total and eternal absence. You have graduated from their painful school of toxic manipulation forever. Your quiet authority is your ultimate crown. Wear it proudly as you walk into this brand new season of massive divine abundance. The universe has successfully cleared your path of every single hidden enemy. You are entirely safe to shine your bright light without any fear of their bitter jealousy, because heaven is actively fighting all your silent battles today. The divine realm is incredibly proud of you. Do not look back at the broken pieces they left behind. Keep your eyes completely focused on the glorious horizon that God has painted just for you. Type your final Amen and share this sacred truth to permanently lock the heavenly gates behind you. Your beautiful journey as the ultimate master of reality officially begins right now. I will see you in the pure light.